This man's name is Mark. The first thing he does every day when he wakes up is to pick up a small mirror to see if the rich woman next to him is still alive. The rich woman is almost 90 years old. She's still very much alive. Mark sighed helplessly. Another day of luxury and happiness. Because of the size of the villa, the only way to get around the house is with a balance bike. A selection of sports cars from the library, a game of tennis for the board, a massage in the afternoon. Even the sun is turned over. Such a happy life. I can't even dream of it. I thought Mark was a handsome young man, but he just didn't have enough money. At a party, Mark caught the eye of all the rich women as soon as he came on stage. He flashed his charmingly toned buttocks and muscles. Then he leapt into the pool. He then leaps into the pool, lifts his sexy fringes and walks up to the rich women, and with a series of greasy maneuvers, Mark managed to win the heart of a rich woman. The reason why he chose this shortcut in life. It all started with his miserable childhood. His father was a tanker driver. He was overworked every day. He fell asleep on the way home. He crashed his tanker truck into his family's house. The vehicle then exploded. His dad was sent to his lunchbox on the spot. Mark witnessed what happened to his father. In his grief, both siblings have their own ambitions. The younger sister dreams of becoming an architect, to build the family a house stronger than a rock. Mark, on the other hand, was a smart boy. He held up a magazine cover and told his sister when he grew up he would be the man behind the rich woman. Years later Mark's dream came true. It was their wedding anniversary. The rich woman gave Mark an identical watch, but Mark wasn't satisfied. He said he wanted a sports car. She said, "If you like it, I'll buy you anything you like." Then they went to the car shop and asked Mark. What he didn't expect was, the guy who was selling the car. He was a man who had the same dream as me. He said all the right things. He even made the rich woman happy. As it turned out, the same day Mark came back from his car race, he saw a sports car in front of his house. Mark enters the house to see. The rich woman was slumped on the sofa, inhaling oxygen. The two of them didn't know what they had done, and so Mark's dream was ended by the sales guy. As they signed a prenuptial agreement, Mark got out of the house, and then he was on the streets. Then Mark found his sister. She saw her brother in a bad way, but she decided to take him in. She asks him not to be lazy. He had to work and earn money, but Mark was used to a rich life. How could he possibly work? But his sister was very determined, so Mark took a job as an outdoor promoter. The worst part was, there was a competitor across the road. He looked at his cool moves and Mark didn't want to be outdone. And then his hand slipped and the billboard flew off. It smashed right into the windscreen of a police car. He couldn't see the police car and hit the old man in the wheelchair. But the old man didn't hit it. He got up and got going again. The next moment the old man was hit by another car. When he saw what was happening, Mark ran away. The same day Mark was taking his nephew to school. On his way to school, he noticed that his nephew had a crush on a girl, but the difference in his condition made him feel inferior. He was afraid to talk to the girl. And the girl's grandmother. The girl's grandmother was a wealthy woman. Mark instantly smelled the smell of his dream. He decided to pursue his dream again. To get close to the girl's grandmother, she decides to help her nephew get the girl. So she gives him all her flirting skills. The same steps, the same greasiness, but it worked. The girl immediately invites her nephew to her birthday, and Mark is back on the road to chasing rich women. In order to have a soft dinner, Mark goes to the beauty parlor and decides to get a makeover. But no matter how he dresses up, he finds that he's no longer in touch with the fresh meat. Then he spotted his shoe buddy, so he had a plan. And after a little magic, he walked out in style. The uninitiated would have thought someone had eaten poop. Mark steps out in a 6-person stride. The moment he stepped out, he caught the attention of the crowd. He flashed his sunglasses, then he dived into the water with style. Black shoe polish instantly blackened the pool. If you didn't know, you'd think he'd pooped. When he got to shore, he was covered in shoe polish. He couldn't open his eyes. He said "I love you" to everyone, so security kicked him out. The nephew was devastated to see what Mark had done. His sister blamed Mark for not having any shame. He was very angry and kicked him out. Mark felt very sorry for his nephew, so he wrote a letter of apology to the girl on his behalf. He succeeded in saving a sincere relationship. Soon after, the boss suddenly gave his sister a big project, and the investor was a powerful female boss. The sister was overjoyed. The day she arrived at the client's appointed location, a helicopter slowly descended. She finally met the rich woman. Then her husband came out of the helicopter. On closer inspection it was Mark. It turned out that after leaving his sister's house, he soon met a new man. He's back on top of his game. And that's the end of the film. After watching the film, it proves the saying, choice is more important than effort. If you don't want to work hard in front of the screen, go and find your 80-year-old baby. In the end, Mark and his family live happily ever after. And the sales guy from the beginning, the first thing he did every day was to pick up a small mirror to see if the rich woman next to him was still alive. But this time he was luckier than Mark, because he won the lottery.